On to the bottom of the fourth, game one of a three-game series with the Chicago Cubs.
Solid matchup between the number twos, similar records. This should be a good series. I sure hope no umpires do anything really stupid.
He walked him. Bases loaded for Acuna.
Counsell looks stressed. Bases loaded. Pitcher also unhappy.
He's a little frustrated because he's starting to kind of beg a little bit for some of these pitches.
Which turns this check swing
They'll check. Did not go.
into a major point of contention over a very significant call. He didn't swing, man. And then, what the f was that, Junior? Oh, I see. They're doing Renaissance art creation. Yes, that's exactly what this is.
Edward Stansberry there.
Valentine Walcott looks into the dugout like, what's going on over there? And I guess Junior didn't like this response.
Wow.
Craig Counsell's just been ejected.
Counsell taking the long walk over.
So Craig Counsell's going to come out and talk to Junior Valentine.
Because that's great for pace of play.
For the first time as manager of the Cubs from long distance.
If there were no runners on base and he was a pitcher, this would be a pitch clock violation. With runners on, pretty close.
Junior Valentine was positioned on the field and where Counsell was in the dugout. I'm not sure rejection justified there, but I don't know exactly what Craig had to say.
All right, Craig, what did you have to say?
I was curious why I was thrown out. I made a hand gesture. I threw my hands up in the air after I was warned.
Diagramming the field, the third base dugout on a check swing from the first base umpire, which of course the third base dugout doesn't even have a good look at for a righty, puts the dugout directly in the umpire's line of sight. That's not an invitation for the umpire to just specifically try looking there, but it is within their natural sight line, which makes gestures more important than words at this distance. There's a saying in officiating, angles are more important than distance. Yep, there are studies on this angle thing, unless of course Counsell says shut up, leading to an absolutely insane reaction from first base.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 call.
Speaking of angles, that's why third base doesn't call this for a righty.
Sit back down. He doesn't have to sit back down.
Yeah, that entire warning was Exhibit A of what never to do as an umpire. That was really bad. We've done a video in the past of an ejection I did like. It's the stop sign warning. There's a difference between a stop sign and whatever this was.
I mean, the problem in that spot is you're throwing a guy out from 140
It wasn't like
feet.
Again, I don't have a problem with distance ejections because they're in the line of sight, but that said, don't go looking for trouble, and aggressively warning a manager to sit back down in a dugout where they're not required to sit is overly aggressive, as was this "what the f*** were you thinking" gesture.
Stanek finished the inning and got ejected by Valentine.
Valentine has some interesting expressions when he ejects, which don't especially look great in an aggressive posture. I refer again to the even keel warning I like. I don't care what happens after ejection, but while they're still in the game, maybe don't escalate.
I mean, I would imagine. I'm thinking that's why Craig went over to try and get his money's worth.
Now Craig Counsell is done.
And so am I.
Yeah, and it's a precarious spot to go out there and argue with an umpire. Now you got a 3-1 count to Ronald, and